Welcome everyone to the Calcium Connection Episode 4, a Doc of Detox show. I'm Dr. Darryl Wolfe, and my honored guest today is Jay Lee, the CEO of Sigma Anti-Bonding Calcium, which represents the most important breakthrough in nutrition and chronic disease in the last 100 years. I realize that this is a big statement, but please sit back as we show you how this therapy will not only change your life, but give your life back.
And we have done actually the lab test. We transplanted the cancer to the rats, right? It was colorectal cancer, colon cancer, and we had 3 groups of mice, and one was just given water, and the other one was just a small dose of our product, and then the other one was recommended dosage. We had some effect with a very small dosage of our product, but then when the recommended dosage was given, after 3 weeks, 70% of the tumor either stopped growing, right, and it was decreased in size. So the animal test also proved that our product really works. For cancer patients, we know we have to stress that cancer is systemic disease, right? So if you have your own cells turn against you, that means you really wreak havoc in your body. So just cutting out the tumor or zapping the tumor is not turning around your systemic problem, right? So this is what to be expected for the patients who are taking our product, is that some of the patients do experience increased energy and they're back to their normal businesses, but we tell them that they are still cancer patients. Some of them even have cancer, the tumor disappearing, and blood work looks good, but it's because our product is there. The calcium ion is there to kind of provide the scaffolding, right? But then your body needs time to recover, right? To have all the systemic problems to go away, it takes time, right? That's why we recommend after taking a product for phase 1, they go into phase 2, where they're giving enough of their body the time and what's needed to be restored.
Well, they also should never come off of it. They should be on a maintenance dosage, because
That's
what's
right.
good for you is good for you. I mean, what gets you well keeps you well.
That's right.
But here's the other situation. And I don't know why people stop. They just do, because I just think that, you know what, I don't have enough money or whatever they think. You know, a lot of people can only spend the money that they have love for themselves. You know, I'm not really sure, but it gets a little confusing. But I do know one thing, that when the ionic calcium is able to turn around the cancer that fast, the actual the unconscious mind is actually the body. It's not ready to get rid of it yet, because it was actually suiting a purpose. So it has to adjust to actually getting rid of the cancer. You know, if I can make a really just short example, there are people that will keep on going over stressing themselves out, right? So then they have anxiety attacks, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's people that weren't even stressing themselves out and they had an anxiety attack just like that, just came on. I don't know what happened. I just started feeling anxious and then I fainted, or you know, I don't know what's going on with her. I never touched her. I didn't do anything. Because what happened, you have your conscious mind, which is you're there. We're in the present right now. You have your subconscious mind, which is 90% of your brain, which houses your beliefs. If those beliefs aren't good and you repeat them enough, your unconscious mind, which is your body, agrees that it will continually do that for you.
Wow.
So this is actually a study that was done. It was called the Anatomy of Physiology. And if something gets turned around too fast, even if it's a healing, the body will want it to come back. Because it's like, wow, this is not right. It went too fast. And because the body actually had the cancer there because it needed it. So if you don't support after the cancer leaves for an extended period of time, you don't erase the memory of the cancer with the cells. It tries to actually bring it back.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes, that's...
This is true. So when we're working on people, I know it's not like cancer, but when we're working on people and we take and we get rid of a fibroid this big, and we can, but, you know, we can pull it apart. once we do that, we say, look, that's why we tell people to come here and get trained, because the husband or the wife, they need to understand how to go in there, because the body's going to try to replace it. Because like, wow, it was there for a reason. It went away too fast, because that's terrorism, right? So anyway,
that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's called reinforcement. No, lovingly go back in. So that's why they need to do it.
That's why
they don't know that they don't know that but they have to inform 85 trillion cells, or otherwise 7 billion actual particles, which the body's made out of, that guess what? This is okay. Calm down. It's going to be fine. You're going to be fine. It's not coming back. So that's why if you come off too soon, it actually comes back, even if the person didn't do anything that was toxic or harmful.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very good point. It's a very important point.
Oh, it's a very. Well, we emphasize this in this clinic like huge, right?
Wow.
And you know what? It's like this. I warned you. I warned you. And yeah, but I'm not going to change my diet. I'm gonna stick with this perfect day diet. I'm going to do that, but I don't want to. But I want to cut back I don't cut back in the products yet.
That's right.
You know,
it takes time.
I have this rule, and it's just my rule. After you feel you're healed, 9 months to birth the baby. 9 more months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't even. Yeah. But that's just me.
Well, you know what? That's the kind of schedule we have, right?
Yeah.
That's why after the phase 1,
yeah,
when we kind of expect that a lot of cancer will turn around.
Yeah.
We want them to really continue on phase 2, right?
Muscle memory. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Muscle memory.
Muscle memory. Okay. Good.
Yeah, muscle memory, like, you know, you used to play soccer, and 10 years later, you still know how to kick the ball, right?
That's right.
Well, guess what? Muscle memory. You got rid of the cancer. Well, guess what? It still wants the ball back.
Wow.
All right.
So that's why we need to keep on giving this.
Yes.
More reduced dosage is fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Reduced dosage.
Yeah, because now you don't have to. It's not like you're trying to create a new pathway. You have the pathway.
That's right.
But now you don't want the weeds to come back and the grass to grow back, so that you don't have the pathway. So the longer you take the product, the better the pathway. So what happens is you start off with a pathway, then it goes to a sidewalk. Okay, to a street, to a major highway.
Exactly.
And now you're okay.
That's a good point.
Okay.
That's a good point.
All right.
Yes. So we can actually, I mean, the cost factor is going to be reduced too, right? From you're inducing remission, and then you go into more, making it more, I guess, stable, right? And then just be on maintenance dosage, because if we actually stop taking this, think about it. Our body's natural course, aging process will just kick in.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So
well, the other thing too is I tell my cancer patients when they come, I go, you know, they say things to me because, you know, about money part of it, and I'm not going to get into that right now because that's kind of another topic. But I just say to them, look at, would you like to be healthy and in debt, or would you like to have money and not be here? Okay. All right.
In debt, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you're healthy, you're not in debt. You'll find a way to get out of there.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right.
Good point, doctor. Since calcium ion is involved in so many functions in our body, whether it's the brain, whether your heart, whether your muscles, endocrine system, enzyme activation, even for fertilization and mitosis, all the intracellular communication, it does everything.
Nothing happens without it.
That's right. That's how our body communicates.
Right.
Right? So a patient could be taking SAC calcium for one condition, but at the same time, the patient could be reaping benefits from all the other conditions as well.
Right.
For instance, if a patient is taking SAC calcium for cancer, while that's happening, the bone density could go up. The autoimmune response can be corrected, right? And one of that is diabetes. I know it's a big thing now.
Well,
right?
do you have a case of cancer where somebody was taking it for cancer and other things happened for them?
Oh yeah, of course, it happens all the time.
Okay, all
right? Because usually cancer patients have other conditions too. Because cancer is systemic disease, their balance is already off, and they're seeing this unbalance everywhere, right? So there was a case where the lady with breast cancer was taking SAC calcium for cancer. But then 3 weeks
breast cancer?
taking her product, breast cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 weeks into taking SAC calcium, she found out that her blood sugar level was going down. Right? It came down to the normal level, and she was on 2 drugs. She got off it.
What drugs?
Was metformin, and the other one was Duo.
Okay.
And then she got off both of them.
All right.
Right. And to this day, after a few years, it was about 2 years ago, she's still off the medication. And of course, her cancer also disappeared. Right. So she's a happy woman now. So diabetes, you know that it's a calcium ion dependent process, type 2 diabetes.
Yes.
Okay. Insulin secretion and insulin sensitivity, it's all calcium ion dependent process. For instance, if you do not have enough calcium ion in your pancreas, cannot release insulin. And also, if you have too much calcium ion flooded because it's coming out from your bones, it increases insulin resistance. So what happens is that our body could have calcium in the wrong places, the wrong concentration. You gotta balance all that. You gotta take all that excess calcium from your blood, excess calcium from your intracellular deposits.
But if I
bring
can't
it back to your bone.
yeah, and that's why you got to watch it, because if you're taking calcium supplementation, you're playing the mad scientist. You're just going and rolling the dice, right?
Regular calcium supplement.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Regular.
right. Yeah.
Well, up until this point, everything that we know
was just regular calcium.
Yeah.
It only goes to your system as protein calcium.
Protein, yeah.
And protein calcium is sitting calcium. It's standby calcium. It doesn't do anything in your body until your body extracts calcium ion from it, right? And if you can't do it efficiently enough, then it's going to be deposited and be causing more problems.
Which you have to understand that anybody that is old, anybody that is sick, anybody that is constantly fatigued is never going to be able to access protein calcium. They can't. Because your body is utilizing the energy just to keep your brain functioning and your heart functioning and keep you breathing. It doesn't have enough extra energy to actually get that.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you actually go to ADA, American Diabetics Association site, you'll find in their website that it says in recent decades, insulin resistance and secretion have been shown to depend on calcium homeostasis. Right? That means in order to reverse type 2 diabetes, calcium homeostasis has to be restored. But until now, even though we had science, we know the reason why we have all the insulin sensitivity and secretion is off. We know why. We didn't just know how to correct it. But with SAC calcium, now we can restore that.
Yeah.
Right. We had several patients just taking even our maintenance dosage one, be able to see big results in their sugar level.
There you have it.
Yeah, and we do have a lot
There you have
of.
it.
If you go to PubMed and then type insulin or type diabetes and calcium ion, you're going to get tons of research done supporting what I'm saying right now.
Right.
And it's right on there in ADA site.
Yeah.
So we're just seeing our body doing its own work. When what is needed is provided, it corrects itself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, there was times when we didn't need it. Maybe, 100, 150 years ago. But now with modernization.
Yes.
Right? Right? Okay. Modernization, that's why this came to be. Without it, I don't know where we would be actually, because there's no keeping up with the acidity, the fire, the inflammation that's going on right now with everyone.
That's right.
Come on. And we don't need to get into this, but I'm sure that it must really play a big part too when it comes to weight problems. Seriously. Because weight problems, the main problem with weight problem is acidity. Okay? And when you're so acidic, your body makes fat.
That's right.
And it has to make fat to store it. You bring in this ionic calcium and you start getting it going in and bringing and releasing the bone calcium and all the other calciums you've been taking, and start getting it and utilizing it, you're going to drop weight.
That's right. Obesity is also part of metabolic syndrome.
Yes.
Yes. So
it's one of the biggest ones for metabolic syndrome.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. But definitely SAC calcium can help.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good news. And also another metabolic syndrome is Alzheimer's disease, believe it or not. Right? Current treatment for Alzheimer's disease, it's focusing on preventing or eliminating the buildup of amyloid and a tau protein. But the new studies are actually focusing on balancing calcium ion in their brain.
Right.
Right? So you can also look up the researches that really it shows how ionic calcium can help balance the calcium, ionic calcium concentration in your brain, and then
the disruption,
that's right.
Yeah, the miscommunication, the misfiring.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Because it's actually misfiring, right? There's the communication is
communication is broken down.
Yeah.
Right. So having
and
the
calcium
right
is the bridge.
That's right.
The ion calcium is actually the bridge.
Yeah,
that's right.
It is second messenger.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So disruption of calcium homeostasis is actually linked to, let's say, Huntington's disease, ALS, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and all that. Right. We have actually a lot of cases where, whether it's ALS and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, when SAC calcium was given, that it actually stopped the progression. Right? Some of the minor, the light symptoms actually reversed.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you caught them before the whole nervous system or the wiring was completely just fried out.
That's right.
Yeah.
When the damage is done and it's already too late, it's hard to reverse.
Yes.
But being able to actually stop the progression and reverse the minor symptoms, right? The early symptoms.
Right.
Right. That's a huge benefit. We actually had a case where it's kind of amazing. I was speaking in one of the medical conference and giving introduction to SAC calcium, and then right after I was done, there was one keynote speaker. Just, he came up on the stage and gave a really good endorsement for our product because he actually tried it. He tried it on his mother, right? About 3 months before that, when I was in Manila, I talked with him and he said, wow, this really helped my mother's diabetes. But I didn't know that his mother also had dementia. For 3 years, she could not remember him, his siblings, his children, and his, the personality kind of disappeared. That's what happens with dementia.
Yeah, you become a shadow.
That's right. That's right. And about taking SAC calcium for 4 or 5 months, now she remembers him, his children, and her personality is coming back. So it's funny because all the caretakers are now complaining because she was so easy to take care. Now she's saying, I don't like this food, and this is what I like, and her the personality is coming back, and
she forgot what she didn't like.
That's right.
So now she's not liked.
That's right.
There you go.
There you go. That's amazing. After 3 years.
Yeah.
So, what SAC calcium can do?
Flip the switch.
Yeah, that's
Flip
right.
the switch.
There you go.
The epigenetic switch. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and there are a lot of researchers supporting that. So the latest research is talking about calcium ion and Alzheimer's. And now we have it.
Yeah, now we have it. Now we're going to deliver it.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay. And Dr. Wolfe, another really encouraging effects that we had is the patients reporting to us about their cardiovascular disease.
Right.
Right, arrhythmia, heart palpitation.
Right.
Our heart needs to, of course, it needs a lot of energy. But the way the heart pumps, the muscle contracts, everything has to be synchronized, right? So one muscle contracts and one muscle relaxes, and all that has to be timed precisely. But in order for any muscle to contract, strong enough, you need enough calcium ion. If you cannot provide it, then it's going to be not only out of sync, but the muscles will not be flexing enough to give that force to move the blood.
Right.
Right? So when we're able to deliver that calcium ion, we have actually really helped most of the cases that we faced. Arrhythmia patients and heart palpitation patients, they're free. They all got well, right? And we had patient that actually his cardiologist pronounced him that he's dying, and he had really a mitral valve prolapse. The valve did not really close. It was shut close, tight, right? So he was actually dying in the bed, and he heard about our product and got on our treatment, and matter of few days experienced more energy, and then in a few months he was up and running on treadmill. 5 years from his recovery, I was able to meet this person. He was very energetic, jumping up and down, and this was the guy who was dying. There's nothing that this cardiologist could do for him, but now he's free. So he introduced SAC calcium to his sister, who had really bad case of rheumatoid arthritis, right? Could not really move her fingers, and she's living normal life now. And actually, he has given our kids product. We have kids product that really helps our kids to reach their full stature, their potential, and also SAC calcium is good for their brain function and focus and all that. So,
why don't you tell everybody what that product's called?
It's called ASA Junior. Okay. And it's made for kids.
Yeah.
It's a lower concentration, and you can kind of calculate to the body mass, or the amount to give from infants to the teenage. Right. So I was giving it to his son. His son really wanted to play basketball, but he was so short. Right. But then within 1 year, he grew so much, right, so that he could make to the basketball team. In fact, I have actually an interesting story that happened in Manila, where the doctor, he owns his hospital, the size of a hospital, and he was really welcoming our technology and product, and he was treating his cancer patients using SAC calcium. And he had grandson who was so short. So he challenged his son to give ASA Junior to his grandson. Right? And he actually made a bet. If your son does not outgrow you this year, that was year 2017, I give all I have to you. Guess what happened? He kept his own money, because the grandson grew up fast enough to outgrow his son. Right? So definitely what SAC calcium can do for even children is amazing. Right?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. I probably have a son that wants this.
Yeah. I mean, it cannot, I guess, outdo what your DNA is already programmed to do, but at least it can help you reach that potential given by your DNA.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. So, I mean, it's good for so many conditions. We actually took the heart muscle and in vitro, it was already cold, and then we dropped sac calcium on it, giving calcium ion, and it just started to fire up again. The infrared pictures show it's red and yellow. It's all turning hot. So definitely SAC calcium can really restore the function of mitochondria and ATP production, and restarting the cell, and
the
all
fountain
that.
of life.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I'll say so.
Yeah.
It's definitely powerful.
Yeah. It must make you feel good to be representing such a
Yes, I feel honored.
life-changing, life-saving product, right?
Yes.
And you know what? It's like, is it too simple? And that's the thing. People get, it's just too simple, right? It's got to hurt and it's got to be hard. Well, no, it doesn't.
Yeah. Long ago, when the sailors are sailing across the ocean, they found themselves with scurvy, and they didn't know what it was until they found out it's a deficiency of vitamin C.
Right.
Imagine that there was really no way to provide vitamin C, and trying to reverse the condition without vitamin C.
Yeah, well, they would. They try to do it with something else, and that's what we've been doing with calcium for all these years.
That's right. That's right. All that you needed was ionic calcium. There was no way to give it, but now we're doing it, and the body's doing its own thing to recover itself.
Yeah. Beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Another thing that I just want to talk about, I guess, acidic calcium is people talk about calcification a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well.
And some people ask, okay, if you need calcium ion, you're taking out from your bone, then aren't you providing enough calcium ion, even though it's coming from your bone? Well, not so. Calcium ion coming from your bone, your body could utilize it, but we call it bad calcium.
Right.
Why? Because it's actually coming out together with phosphorus. The phosphate that's coming out together with calcium ion, there's that correlation. If you multiply the concentration of calcium per deciliter, and then the concentration of phosphorus, and then if it's greater than 60, then it calcifies your system.
Right.
So calcium coming out from your bone, even though it's in ionic form, it's considered bad calcium because the phosphorus is coming out together with it, and it works differently. It's going to calcify your system. But when SAC calcium is given from outside, right, it can trigger osteoblast. It takes all the calcium and phosphorus back to your bone, builds strong bone, right, and then it could also tear down the calcification that you already have. Right?
Yeah. And you meant, so just so you know, he meant tear down the calcification that you already have, whether it's in the arteries, whether it's in the joints, whether it's in the muscle tissue, whether it's in the breast tissue, and even if it's gallstones or kidney stones or even that calcium that gets down in your toe with the gout.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
got
right.
it.
So taking the phosphorus away from your blood, it has added health benefits. Why? Because it is the building block for viruses and bacteria to multiply.
Right.
So let's say you're taking all the excess phosphorus away from and bringing it where it belongs. You're actually taking away all the building blocks for viruses and bacteria to multiply.
Wow.
Right? So we had cases where we have given this to HIV patients, and as long as they're taking this, when you look at their blood work, it looks normal. We don't know if it gets rid of the virus, but definitely the viruses cannot multiply.
Well, it creates the terrain that it's not there.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So, whether it's getting rid of it or not, it's not having any effect on the human body. And for the money that you're spending, that's your life insurance policy.
You're taking this for all the other conditions anyways, your maintenance dosage.
Yeah, it's not even just for the HIV. What about all the other side effects that,
That's right.
No more osteoporosis, you sleep better muscle contraction.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. All of that, it's all added benefit. There was actually a case in South Korea when there was MERS outbreak. We didn't know what it was. So all these patients were brought into a Samsung hospital. Right? And the team that received all these patients, they all contracted MERS, except one young man. He didn't get it. And everyone was asking why. You know why? Because he was taking our maintenance product. He actually had leukemia, and then he got better using SAC calcium.
Wow.
So after he has recovered fully, he was taking our product, maintenance dosage. And he was working in Samson Hospital. He was the only one that escaped MERS contraction. It's amazing. Right? And also, calcium, ionic calcium, can maintain ideal pH. At ideal pH 7.4, pathogens cannot multiply. And that's known knowledge, right? So if you can maintain that throughout your life, imagine all the health benefits you can get.
And now we're back to frequency.
That's right.
Now we're back to frequency. People say it's terrain, but it's maintaining the frequency. And if you're doing the maintenance dosage, and the maintenance product is called, can you tell everyone? It's called
the Megagen.
Megagen. And when you take the Megagen maintenance dosage, remember something, you're creating a pH that sends out an actual frequency that does not allow these pathogens to exist.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And our maintenance dosage is not that expensive.
Yeah.
So here is the product.
Megagen.
Megagen.
Yeah.
And
this is the product that everybody would be taking, right? So this is the product that,
that's right.
Like I would take or anybody would take that's already healthy, when you consider yourself healthy. Now, but I would suggest that if you're like 50, 60 years old, you'd get a bone density test.
That's right.
Because this might not, would this be enough to actually turn it around if you were really severely if you had osteo?
Well, more you take this.
So over time, yes,
this
would work. But if you were in a real severe condition, right?
Then I would recommend a stronger product.
Into osteopenia, if you're in osteopenia, then you would do.
Yeah.
Okay.
To get there quicker and then go.
And then come back to this.
That's right.
Right. And then
but this alone is powerful enough over the time to build your bone.
Yes. Yeah. If you got time on your side.
That's right. That's right. But then even that time is we're talking about just period of like 1 year.
Yeah.
We're not talking about 5-6 years down the road.
Which is amazing.
Yes.
I know people that have been taking products for chronic problems and spending thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're not making any headway. But they're not going down, but they're kind of staving it off. But yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There's lots of those out there.
Yeah. So our maintenance product is powerful enough to do all that.
Right.
It's great preventive measure.
Right.
But if you are caught with severe condition, we recommend our strongest product. It's called Matagen.
Yeah.
Matagen in the body is several times stronger than Megagen. Right. We'll recommend this 4 times a day to cancer patients.
Right.
And for 6-month protocol.
Right.
And you will definitely experience increased energy and a lot of the symptoms will reverse.
Right.
But then keep taking it. Keep taking it. You will go down from 4 doses to 3 doses and 2 doses, and then you can get on 1 dose, right? And if you are back to your health, you can get on our maintenance dosage. Megagen.
Yeah.
Right, which is a lot more affordable.
Yeah.
And
well, like I always say, right? So, if you got a 20-foot hole, don't bring out a 10-foot ladder.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
We do have other products. I already mentioned about Osteo Junior.
Yeah.
We also have 2 more products, and one is Dentigen.
Yeah.
The other one is Cardigen.
Yeah.
As the name suggests, Cardigen is for rebuilding cartilage. It's good for
joint
disease. Yes. And Dentigen is good for your dental problems.
Yeah. So yeah.
These are all based on SAC calcium technology. The concentration is different, so there's some difference in pricing. You don't want to overspend for a condition that you can do by spending less, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you, these products move off the shelf because once you start using them and you start ordering them from us, you'll be the actual advertising.
Yes.
And that's what people are. That's why these products sell themselves.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, and you're talking weeks, months, not years. So.
That's right.
And that's the beauty of it, right there. It
works fast.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for joining us on the Calcium Connection webinar docuseries today. Let us together erase chronic illness off the map. So call us at 855-900-4544 with all your questions or distributor inquiries, or go to docofdetox.com/calcium. Have the best day of your life, and together, let's create a Braveheart Nation.